One of the most common sorts of injury we see in a catastrophic injury law practice is back injuries. And over the past 25 years, I've probably handled hundreds of these cases. The spine is basically a stack or column of bones called vertebra. And between those are little shock absorbers called disc. And it's all related to the muscles and nerves coming out of the spine area. Now, if you take a room full of people who are middle-aged or older and do an MRI or a CT scan of all their spines, probably most of them will look, their backs will look like 40 miles of bad road due to age-related changes. But most of them don't have symptoms, and you can go your entire life without pain or disability due to degenerative changes in your back as you age. But then something comes along, maybe you get hit by a car or a truck or something else, and it causes the problems that weren't even symptomatic to become painful and disabling. Now, the disc between the vertebrae are compared to jelly donuts. The bread of the donut, so to speak, is a cartilage tissue called the annulus. And like a donut gets a little dry with age, the annulus gets a little dry with age, and it can form cracks. But there may not be any problem. Then you have some injury, some trauma, and the jelly begins to leak out of the middle of the donut. Here you have a model showing a normal disc that is not injured, and here's an example of a disc where there's a herniation, where a crack in the annulus allowed the jelly to begin to leak out and to press on a nerve. And that's where you really get into some serious problems. And the area where you have a herniation in a disc in the spine determines what part of the body is affected. This chart shows the nerve distribution pattern. If you have a herniation in the neck, it's going to affect the arm. If it's in the low back, it's going to affect the leg. Now, medicine's made progress in recent years, and some treatments are available now that weren't available a generation ago. But the traditional surgery that we still see a great deal, say if there is a herniated disc in the low back, is to take out that disc and do the surgery, remove the disc, sew it back up. But the low back, where the back doesn't bend a lot of times this is done without fusing the vertebra. If a disc is herniated in the neck, where the neck bends like this, then the surgery is a little bit more tricky. And it's scary to look at, but we've had a lot of clients who were awfully glad they went ahead and had the surgery. Some people have better outcomes than others. When the disc is herniated in the neck, the incision is made through the front of the neck. They insert instruments back to the spine. You see where the spinal cord runs behind that disc. They take out the disc material, and they'll put in bone or cadaver bone or bone from the person's own hip, and then secure it with a plate. There are some new things being developed and coming into use for more flexible synthetic disc, and we're beginning to see those a little bit.